Welcome to Back with your host, Chris Ellison. On Back, we feature a lineup of Christian music, and most of it is Canadian. We love Canada, and we love our Canadian artists. We want to showcase their music on this show. We'll feature reviews, artist interviews, and we'll play some of their songs. So stay tuned, and thanks for joining us on Back to Back.
Back to back, stronger together.
Well, welcome back. Well, we're thrilled to have Canadian Christian recording artist K-Anthony join us. Hailing from Jamaica and now based out of Toronto, Ontario, K-Anthony is known for his soulful voice and inspiring lyrics. He has captivated audiences across Canada and beyond with his powerful blend of contemporary Christian music. His impressive accolades include recently winning a Juno Award for his musical contributions and recognition for his excellence in songwriting and performance. He's on the show with us today. K-Anthony, welcome.
Appreciate it. Taking the time also and even having the interest in doing the interview. So I thank you.
As I said before, I've been exploring the Christian music industry over the last year or so. I keep seeing your name. I keep hearing your name. I keep hearing you connected with other work that you're doing with other people and writing that you're doing, and it's exciting. So I wanted to get to know you myself. And there's lots of people who probably have heard of you, and some know you. And we want to get the message out there in a little bit more personal way. Who you are, where you came from, what you're doing, and where you're heading. So we're really glad you're here today. First of all, congratulations on winning the Juno Award. It's a significant milestone. So what do you hope this recognition will bring to the genre of gospel music, especially in Canada?
That they would have honored me with such a accolade. I'm very much appreciative. I'm very much grateful. It speaks to the fact that your hard work doesn't always go unnoticed. For me, winning this award is being given the platform where I can point people to Jesus Christ and what he has done for me. And if someone has never tried him, they should. And I'm sure that they will, they're in for a surprise how he's able to transform one's life and how he's able to transform one's heart. And so that's my focus. My focus is the message of Jesus Christ and what he has done for me and the gospel.
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey from, I think you were from Falmouth, Jamaica, to becoming an internationally recognized gospel artist? Can you share with us a little bit about your journey into music and how you discovered your passion for Christian music?
Yes. So I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica. I grew up in Falmouth. I had a strong passion for track and field. And so that was interfering with my academics and also because of my faith as a Seventh-day Adventist. And so my mom sent me to a Christian Seventh-day Adventist school in Montego Bay. And so I really started singing in church. And as I grew, I got deeper into the music because one of my first love was a cappella group. I'm not sure if you're familiar, groups that love to harmonize and stuff like that. So that's where I learned how to do harmonies. And so while I was developing and owning that craft in church, I formed a group in high school. And after completing high school, I wanted to become an agronomist. However, there were some issues. They weren't accepting at the time. And so my mom said, hey, why not do music for a year? And so that was what really guided me into music from an academic standpoint. So I studied music at Northern Caribbean University. That's in Mandeville, Jamaica. And I was signed there when I was probably about 18, 19 years old. And so that got me into the business aspect of music and understanding what it is to be a recording artist, how to own your skills on the stage, understanding that although it's ministry, there's a business side to it since you're investing. And I just continue to grow, meet new people who have added value to the gifting that God has given to me. And then a few years after, I migrated to Canada and I started getting some work in. And that's when I met Sharon Rurak, who was my manager at the time, who is now my PR agent. And so she believed in what I had to offer. She believed in the gifts that God has given to me. And we just came up with different strategies in navigating the ministry aspect of music and started doing some performances locally being featured on mainstream, television. I would just continue to build from there. So it took quite some time for people to took notice of what I was doing and how we were working. Yeah, but it has been an interesting journey. It's been a very tedious process, but it's been a blessing.
Yeah, you talk about, the tedious process, and there's so many pieces to the puzzle in terms of, the writing of the music, the recording of the music, the then performing of the music and playing live. And that's something that you're known for as well, as your live performance. And, in your genre of music, there's the Christian music industry, and then there's the secular Christian or the secular music industry. Can you tell us about how that was there pressure for you to be a secular artist? You chose the Christian music industry. What went into your thoughts about the Christian music industry, and maybe some strengths and challenges associated with your musical journey within the Canadian Christian music industry?
So interestingly, I would backtrack a little. I almost drowned when I was 12 years old. And so that was when I committed my life to Jesus. I said, hey, if you save me, I will give you this gift. I will give back this gift to you. And that's when I really started to gradually own the gift and made a decision to use the gift for Jesus Christ. The challenges you face it's definitely possible going to be monetary. One, having a community that believes in you and seeing what God has given to you. The moment you have that, you will be even more sure of how you want to approach this music business. If you don't have a community, it's a little bit harder. So I was blessed enough to have a community of friends, of people, of my own family who believed in the gifting that God has given to me. And so it was a matter of strategizing, just realizing that you can't just put out music and expect it to be successful without doing the groundwork, without having a PR, without having a representative, without writing songs that actually can translate and so people can relate to whatever you have to share. So the first thing from the business aspect, people need to know, one, who are they going to be registered to? In Canada, it's SOCAN. Who will you have as your representative? Do I need a manager? All of it is a step-by-step process. You don't necessarily need a manager initially when you start out doing music, but as you go, you will realize that you can't do this on your own, but you need people around you to support you and to help push, and so you can actually accomplish the plans that God has for your life.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a community. It's really important. And in my journey through creating the show is to try to create a sense of community where other artists out there aren't feeling alone. I've had the opportunity to interview a whole bunch of different headlining artists in the Christian music industry in Canada. And that's one thing that they all seem to come to that sort of conclusion, or that there seems to have been a lack of community that's developed in Canada, but we need to kind of fold within and start supporting each other in meaningful ways. And we're still curious to see how that works over the next couple of years. But, so you having community and people you're involved with has been really important for you, and it's set the standard for other artists.
It's very important. It's challenging when you have no support. And so people have to make themselves aware of the different entities that's within their province that supports music in general, or the arts, so you can get funding, so you can get some information of how to progress. Christian music is always at a disadvantage. They always prefer to support the secular genre more than Christian music. So you have to set yourself apart by the gifting. You have to pretty much, to me, work 10 times harder than persons who are in the secular community.
Yeah, so there's a bit more of a challenge to break into this industry. Is there pressure for you to move into the US industry?
Yes, there is, because one, you have a lack of opportunity to minister or to even have a concert in Canada, there's not a seemingly to me a structured system within Canada. But what I find is that persons who are outside of Canada, you'll find that major entities will bring them in, but they are not focusing on the talent that is there that needs to be developed. And you can see it. I don't want to call a name, but there's a specific person that I realized that is after he left Canada, he was pretty much noticed by Canadian that, hey, this is a guy that you need to listen to. He's remarkable. He's gifted. He has a strong message. And so that's unfair to the persons there. I don't want to sound bitter because I'm not, but I'm very much concerned for the Canadian artist and the development that they need and making it to the next level. Allowing people to be more aware of who they are, that they belong, and that they have a community that supports them, not only when they have made it outside of Canada, but the fact that they are there and that they have made it here. They are hometown guys and gals. Yeah,
you shouldn't have to go to the outside of our country then to become noticed in Canada within our country. So
yes, that's right.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your songwriting. You've been doing this for a while. How do you come up with, say your journey of how you walk through the creation of a new song and from the idea to its completion?
It's very interesting. So every song, the inspiration comes differently. Sometimes the inspiration comes from having a conversation with someone. Sometimes it's hearing a person talk about their day, and something will connect, and I get a message that I think I need to share. I'll give you an example for the song that I wrote in Saskatchewan titled "Don't Give Up." It's when I transitioned from Jamaica to Canada. It was a very challenging moment for myself. I got in serious depression because imagine moving from tropics to minus 30s consistently. I wasn't prepared for that mentally. And so I was depressed. And it's as if God was telling me that don't give up. It might seem hard. It might seem as if things are not going to work out, but it will. And so I just felt that I needed to share that from my heart. Just as though it was given to me, and knowing that persons will be having either a bad day, a bad moment, a bad season, and they can be reminded not to give up. Also, the song "Billboard for Christ" was written in Saskatchewan, and it's very important that people understand that sometimes the pressures of life, the atmospheric condition around you, things might be gloomy, things might not be going well, or even in the trajectory that you're supposed to be heading, you will face obstacles, you will face challenges. But in spite of the challenges, you're still a billboard for Christ. It doesn't matter if the goals and the objectives that you have set for yourself, you're not achieving or attaining them at the time or the rate that you'd like. But the key thing is always be a representative of Jesus Christ. When people look at you, they must see joy. When people look at you, they must see happiness. When people look at you, they must see the character of Jesus Christ.
And so you want to show that through your music, in terms of particular themes or messages you want to convey through your music.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And how do you ensure that these come through in your songs? And I ask that because you mentioned something earlier that was interesting about the arts, the art of making music. A lot of, the popular genre out there right now is worship music, and it's great. But I think in some cases we've lost the uniqueness or the art of artists writing unique music that may not fall within that genre of worship music. So how do you ensure that your art comes through in your songs?
Just as though your fingerprint is unique, you as a being, you are unique, and there's ears there for you to speak to, that will definitely have a common experience about what you're talking about. And so just accepting that all the circumstances that you have experienced, not limiting yourself to grow, but just knowing that your situation, where you were born, your ethnicity, how you were raised, there's something about all of that that's gonna make you a better person, and you embracing that and embracing the changes that God is allowing to take place within your life as you submit to Him, and allow that music and those passion to come out so people can hear your heart, hear the trueness and the authenticity of the message that you have to bring.
Yeah. And creating a balance between, the artistic side of you and yet being spiritually enriching as well. Trying to create that balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So collaborations is one thing that is a big part of your ministry.
Yes.
So who are some of the artists that or musicians you've been enjoying collaborating with, and how's that influenced your writing?
So I don't only collaborate with writers, and I collaborate with producers. So sometimes I'll do some Afrobeat, Afrocentric style music. So I partner with P Tempo in South Africa, and I think it's always beautiful to work in community. I've partnered with Alicia out of I think Kitchener. Good friend of mine, Lloyd Nix out of Missouri, who is my brother, who happens to have one of his pen in one of the biggest songs right now in the world, sung by CC, That's My King. So it's an honor and a privilege to be able to partner with people who are doing really good job, who is serious about the gifting that God has given to them and wanting to share it to the world, want to be submissive to the Holy Spirit and leading them, but also appreciate community and working with different persons, so that when you do that, for me, there's something that you see that I can't. And so if I bring a song to you right now, Chris, you'll be able to see things and speak about things that possibly I can't. And so that's a joy for me in partnering with different persons. Probably I'm leaving off names, but I've partnered with a few persons when it comes to collaborative work. And I'll continue to do so because I think there's a beauty in it.
We talked a few minutes ago about the different pieces of the puzzle of writing and performing music. There's
Yes.
We talked a little bit about the writing of the music and the ideas and the concepts and the art of it. And then, you get it down, then you record it, and it's a completely different, it's completely different than the writing. And I love all of them. One big part is live performances, and they're a key aspect of being able to connect with fans. So I want to know, how do you prepare for shows, and what do you enjoy most about performing live?
How can I bring across the message? So I start from looking at the song list that I have and making sure that they're going down to a point. So I'll start on a high, very energetic, and I continue to taper off where I can speak to the inner man, if I must say. It's no more about the stylistic. It's no more about, oh, this song is good. When I say God is good, you say all the time. Moving it slowly into a song like Free, for you to understand that if you're having a situation where you're feeling like you're not being set free, I'm going to remind you, John 8:36 says, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. And if you just call on Him now, He will turn up and set you free. So you might be having a situation in one's marriage. One might be having challenges with pornography. So I think very widely, who is possible to be sitting in the audience before me? What message does God have to give me to give them? What challenges have I faced as a Christian myself? And knowing that I'm no different from them, and if I have faced that challenge or facing that challenge, they too possibly is going through a similar challenge or a challenge within their own kind. And so I think about that, and that's how I approach performing or ministering at a concert. Yeah. I don't take it for granted. I could be talking to them for the last time. They're probably not going to be alive, or myself. So I take it seriously that I have a message to bring them, to bring hope, to bring light, to bring healing, to bring the gospel to them at that time. And there possibly will never be another time. So I like my set to be energetic when starting out and then taper off to be more mellow, more reflecting. I love connecting with the audience. I love sing-alongs where I am singing and I have them sing back the song to me. Going into the crowd and allow them to be a part of it and not just performing for them, but I will sing a part, teach them, and have someone in the crowd singing. So they can realize that I'm not a star. I'm a simple human being with a gift that God has blessed just like them. And I'm just using the gift, one, to honor God, two, to bring them closer to Jesus Christ through the Holy Spirit.
I like your approach. I like what you said about that. You know, you're just a guy. You've got your challenges. You've had your road bumps. And I feel the same way. I think it's important to be able to connect with people on the same level, you know, that it's not, I guess with music, sometimes you see the people up there on stage and there's that distance and you're down here watching it, when you're able to really connect with them as you're on the same place, you know, you've gone through your own challenges. And, you know, so I appreciate that fact. And that's a good way to be able to connect with people. And I think it's a real art to be able to do that in a positive way. You mentioned the song Free. You know, it's a powerful track that you've created. But yeah, another song I wanted to ask about is One Dance. You know, it's really resonated with listeners. Can you share how the inspiration behind that song and what message you hope it conveys to your audience?
People have always speak about this one step of footprints in the sun. So it's an analogy of dancing. And if I consider the relationship with Jesus or the journey as a waltz, and a waltz of submission. And so it's one dance, meaning you're in sync. You don't move that until the person who is the head, who is making you move. And so you move according to God positioned you, or he has dictated to you to say, okay, you make your right step, left step, you sway, you move. So that's what the song, I was trying to let the song convey, is saying, don't move not unless God tells you to. It's a dance. It's not going to be always smooth. It's going to be have some bumps, but hold on to his hands. He's taking you through. And it's in the end, it's going to look beautiful, like a waltz.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for that. That's an interesting description. You know, you talk about your audience and connecting with them, and there's probably some young artists out there that are looking to make to merge their faith with their passion for music and to do what you do. Is there any advice you'd give to young artists out there who are trying to get into the industry?
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways. Not some. Acknowledge him and he will direct your path. So, one, you need to submit to God. If you're serious about being a minister for the kingdom and bringing a message of hope to this dying world, you need to submit to God so that he can guide you, so the Holy Spirit can speak and pour into you so you can then pour into others. You cannot pour something that you don't have. And since you're representing Jesus Christ, one, you need to have a relationship with him. Then you need to have a community around you, your friends, your family who believe in what you're doing. So, because that's how I started. I have friends in college that believed in what I was doing. And we all had different gifts. So one was my photographer and designer, and one was also the person who helps me to work on vocal parts. And that same one was also the one that made the instrumentation for recordings. And so you want to find that set of people around you that actually believe that you have it. You have something to share. It's going to take hard work. So you're going to learn to persevere, and you should learn to persevere, realizing that the journey is not straight, but it's windy. But it's windy because, one, it's a process. It's almost like the process of getting to the point of having gold coins. And so you have to be put through the fire somewhat. So you'll be tested. One, you'll be tested of your faith. You had asked earlier, have I been ever felt to go secular? Yes, you will be tested if you should go secular because there is more money. But you should then rely on the fact that, hey, what has Jesus done for me? And when you make a comparison, there's really no comparison. You realize that the little that you're able to give is nothing much. And so you should gladly want to give of your best to him. And so you want to be able to then understand in the business aspect of it. Register with all the appropriate entities to cover yourself. As you grow, you need somebody on your team who's a legal expert. You always want to be a student of the gift. Never feel as if you know everything. The moment you feel as if you are the only person within the room having all the knowledge, you're in a bad space. Because you will never be able to grow. And so you should never be the main voice in the room. I never allow myself to be the voice in the room. I always have people who is way more experienced, have far more knowledge that I can always rely on and count on them for their guidance, for them to speak into me to say, hey, I think you're going about this wrong, or you're going about this right, continue. And just work hard and enjoy doing what God has called you to do.
Yeah. And iron sharpens iron, and there's wisdom in the counsel of many. So surrounding yourselves with those people who are like-minded, but maybe have experience, who can speak into your life. You know, there's a real desire for people. I think our natural propensity is to you know, think we know everything we need to know. But as you get older, you realize you don't know much. And so appreciating that and being open to learning, I think, is important.
You got to take no ego. Take the ego. I remember when I started recording, it was hard. When the producer said, "Oh, that wasn't good," I feel so bad. I'm like, "Oh no, it's good." Then I learned that no, you're working to not necessarily just to be a perfectionist, but to have high quality work, and high quality work takes a lot of effort. And it's okay. For some people, it's going to come natural because everybody have different hiccups in different areas of their lives and in their gifting. And so you should just embrace it and just be willing to learn and just be willing to grow, knowing that you won't always be at the same level and you will continue to succeed in that manner.
Well, you got a new album.
If I can add something, so social media causes people to think that success is having large numbers of following, having massive hit records. That's a part of what a type of success looks like. But success is also walking in the purpose that God has called you to. And for that looks different for everyone. That's what I wanted to add.
Yeah. And that is important. And it is a big difference.
Yes.
And it's not until you are speaking or you know, God, you're in a place where, you know, there's no distractions and you're focused and you've ironed out a lot of areas of your life that are messy and kind of get in the way of our relationship with God. And when you do, and you see it happen, it's amazing. Like you see the difference when you're at that place. You don't know what you don't know until you go through it. So you've got a brand new album out. It's called Miracles. Can you tell us about that and what we can expect from that?
Thanks for asking. So I'm still releasing the project. I've had some hiccups that I won't speak clear on with distribution, but I've released some songs from the project. I'm doing more like a waterfall effect of a release. So I'm not dropping the album one time. So I'm dropping songs, dropping videos. So I'm actually working on some music videos. Just did one in this week. And so just be expected to be taken on a journey of where I am at this point in time and the transitions that have been made in my life as I continue to grow as a singer, as a minister. So you will get some Afrobeat, you will get some normal CCM music, and Miracle is one of those songs. And so for me, there's a song on it titled Blessing. And the reason why I did it, I really was giving God thanks that a country boy from Jamaica would have won the juniors. So I just paying not homage, but honoring God for the fact that he has blessed me with such a honor. So you'll find that some of it is very personal. Some of it is just an expression of the fact that no, I'm in the seminary. I'm doing an MDiv at this point in time at Andrews University in Michigan. And so some of it is in the music. So it's the different phases of my life. I would say I write projects. And so this project is coming out at a phase where I'm in school again and relying heavily on God, and everything that I've been able to achieve is a miracle.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you providing that information, because we want to follow you. You know, your fans want to watch you develop and over a period of time and connect with you and look for those upcoming projects and become excited about that and be blessed by it. So how can people find your music and find you and learn more and follow your journey?
For Instagram, it's K-Anthony Live, and it's kanthonylive.com for my website. You'll be able to see what I'm releasing, what I'm about to do next, wherever I will be ministering or performing, and just be a part of the journey, be a part of the community. I see more of a community than just a matter of me being an artist and having fans. They can always write and tell me how they feel about the songs. I'm very open. I know some persons won't like everything that I do, and I always have an open ear because it's very important, because it calls me to stay humble and learn. And I can always learn from anyone. That's what I'm on at this point in time. Just feel free to connect with the music on YouTube. It's K-Anthony.
Okay, that's great. Listen, we really appreciate you taking some time from your day and spending some time with us and helping us get to know you better. We're going to enjoy following your music and watch for your further collaborations and the music you come out with and your journey, that waterfall journey. We'll be watching for that. So thank you so much for spending some time with us today on Back to Back.
Thank you. I want to thank the Back to Back community. Keep it locked. This is your station.
All right, we've been talking with K-Anthony on Back to Back. Now we're going to jump into a couple of his songs. Stay tuned.
You've been listening to Back to Back, and we thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out at www.backtobackradio.ca. If you know a Canadian Christian artist that you want to hear on this program, let us know. Well, check us out next week right here on Back to Back.
Back to back, stronger together.